address the elephant in the room, which is Marcus Rashford. Being a United fan, expound.
If you ask me, I think 2 seasons ago, I would see Rashford in another shirt. I would have told you no, because he is a product of United, academy product, been at United since he was, I think, 8, and I thought he would finish his career at the club. But things changed, and Amorim came, didn't work with the coach. He binned him, and now after 2 months in the wilderness, he is emerging at Aston Villa.
Yeah.
And I feel personally, I think it's a good move for him. If you look at it, he stays in the Premier League. Aston Villa get a good player without paying a transfer fee, at least for 6 months. Rashford has an opportunity to prove himself again, and if he does that, then he signs permanently. And I think Aston Villa continue to enjoy a player like that. And then for Rashford, he is away from the spotlight. I think this gives him an opportunity to focus on playing football, because United attracts a lot of attention. Whether you are playing, whether you are not playing, ever you are talking, if you are not talking, people will still talk about you because you play for United. When he plays for Aston Villa, the focus is less, so he can focus on the football. And the talks will be for other players now.
Yeah. For me, first of all, I think saying that he needed a new challenge, for me, if I was a United fan, I'd feel very insulted, sorry to say, because you can't run and work hard for a team you claim you support and have supported since childhood. So what makes you think going to Aston Villa, who, yes, I know they're doing well in the Champions League, but compared to Manchester United, that is a step down in your career. What makes you think you'd go and work hard for another team? I think for me, Marcus Rashford, for me, has always been part of the problem at Man United. He's been part of the dressing room that has orchestrated the sacking of 4 managers. Remember, Jose Mourinho was speaking about him. He inherited him from Van Gaal. Remember, the way he got into the team was quite by chance, because Man United was suffering
Martial has suffered
injuries and things like that. So he came in, then scores 2 goals against Arsenal, and then all of a sudden he's the greatest thing since sliced bread. But anyway, from there he started getting the spotlight and things like that. And then Mourinho comes in, sees he's not a striker, let me take him to left wing and try and cut in, because he can use his pace to get in behind and things like that. Then all of a sudden you hear he has attitude problems. The same with the Shaw, by the way, who has somehow survived Man United. Then Mourinho leaves, Ole comes in. Ole will always say the right things in front of the media to protect his players. But at the end of the day, because Marcus Rashford is too big of a brand and he's earning a large salary and he's the poster boy and he represents United, wears number 10 shirt, he can't speak ill about him and if he never actually ideally wanted him. Then comes in Rangnick, who drops him. Ten Hag comes in, he has a purple patch where he scores 30 goals, and then he reverts to type. And then Amorim is the one with the guy, he looks at him once for 45 minutes and then decides this is not the guy for me. He orchestrates him. And Amorim has also been speaking against his attitude problem. So if you really can't work hard, I know there's more amidst the eye, but if you can't work hard for a team you claim to love, then there is an issue. And then also number 2 is the fact that Rashford, I don't think his priorities have always been football. I think his issues is, feeding the children and things like that. Why can't he focus on his main job, which is football? I'm not trying to criticize Rashford. Rashford is a talented player, but it's these other issues that have prevented him from getting to that level that we expected him to get to. So for me, if I was a United fan, honestly, I'd be quite relieved that he's gone, because that is a quote-unquote problem or a monkey we have off our backs. He gets off the wage bill. He's on £320,000 a week, but isn't justifying the wage. Hasn't shown he has the capability to be able to handle the pressure of playing for a big club like Man United. So that shows mentality. His mentality and his priorities are wrong in terms of football, which should be his main job. So for me, I think as far as Marcus Rashford is done, and I predicted it in 2019, but people called me all sorts of names, his career at the highest level is done. It's over.
Highest level is done.
Yes, his career is
That's
done.
Quite a
it's
bold
over.
Statement.
No, that's like Raheem Sterling. Look at Sterling right now. Sterling can't even get game time for Arsenal ahead of a 17-year-old Ethan Nwaneri. Sterling, this Rashford guy is like Theo Walcott. When he left Arsenal at 28, he went to Everton. We never heard from him again, and by the time he was 34, 35, he was over. So for me, I might be wrong. Maybe he'll prove me wrong. And even if he goes then on a purple patch like Jesse Lingard did when he went to West Ham, he came back to Man United. What happened? Nothing. So for me, once his United dream is over, his career is done. So for me, it's over for him.
I think
this is the beginning of the end.
Compared to other players like Lingard, you say, I think for Rashford, he is already done with Man United. I don't think he is done at the top level, though. I feel like if he can revive his career at Aston Villa, where I feel like it's an environment with less pressure, with less scrutiny, and that allows him to perform at the highest level. And then he can start banging the goals. And Aston Villa perhaps would be getting interest from other clubs about Marcus Rashford. But then again, if you look at it right now, yes, Marcus Rashford leaves a big club for a smaller club, but he leaves for a better team. Right now, you can't compare United and Aston Villa in terms of the team. Aston Villa are a better team than United. So he's getting into a better team. He will have less responsibilities in terms of the pressures, and people asking too much from him, vis-a-vis when he was at United, where he's the main man and the team is performing poorly and he's being hammered. So I feel Rashford is in a good environment. I don't agree that he is done at the top level. I feel he still has 2-3 good years in him that he can give Aston Villa or whoever other team that will sign him after this. Because for Man United, I think the chapter is closed.